you may notice like the sweat on my forehead. There is no AC in here. That's why we have the fans running right now. It's like really hot in here. The things that I have tried to do to get this video made. Oh my gosh. I want y'all to know I filmed this video twice. Once on Saturday in 90-degree heat where my shirt was sticking to me like a wet Kleenex, and once right before this. Both times turned out absolutely terrible. I don't know if anybody knew this or not, but right now there's a heat wave in LA, and it is so hot here. So hot. Might as well be where Satan lives. Might as well be hell right now. Literally on Saturday when I recorded it, you could see the sweat in the crevice of my butt chin. I had to take a paper towel and continually wipe my forehead. Anyway, third time's a charm, right? Is that what they say? I really hope so. Okay. It's been a little while. I know this week's video is late because it's taken me 20 tries to film it, but I figured given the circumstance, I can't really vlog right now, so I'm gonna take it old school. And you know what we haven't done in a while? A Things That video. And I figured, what better time to do a Things That video than right now? Things That Quarantine Edition. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right in. And for those of you who don't remember how this works, 3 categories of Things That, 2 subcategories of each. I consider myself a positive person, minus the predicament I've been in here. So I'd like to start with things that rule about quarantine. Things that are pretty friggin' dope. First thing that rules about quarantine, working from home is pretty tight. And don't get me wrong, at first it was a very weird adjustment and very uncomfortable, and I was not here for it. I'm sure it was weird for a lot of you guys. But let me tell y'all, that extra hour of sleep that I get in the morning that I'm not spending in traffic is pretty sick. It's like, think about it. Extra hour of sleep or spend that hour in traffic. I'll take the sleep. My bed is right there. My desk is right here. My chairs are... Don't really have to travel all that far. Real easy commute there, right? Alright, okay. Another thing that's great about working from home is I can wear whatever I want to work. I can wear a trucker hat, a black t-shirt, and athletic shorts, or lack thereof. But I don't think y'all are ready for that conversation. The second thing that's just awesome about this quarantine is the extra time that I've had to do things like read, catch up with old friends. Whoever started the whole Zoom happy hour thing, I applaud you. I commend you. I've actually been doing that a lot with my family. I've been doing it a lot with my old college friends who I never get to see anymore. And I've also joined a few random like Virginia Tech happy hours that people have hosted. Those have been a lot of fun. I'm sure you're thinking, Grayson, you should be able to crank out twice the number of videos that you already do. Wrong. Believe it or not, working from home, I feel like I'm busier at home, which is kind of crazy. I don't hate it because I have a job. And for that, especially during this time, I'm very thankful. The second category of things that I want to talk about are the things that are, kind of in the middle about quarantine. Things that aren't dope, but things that don't necessarily suck at the same time, if that makes sense. The first thing that I'm kind of in the middle on about this whole quarantine thing is the fact that I'm not spending money. And some people may say, oh, that's awesome, like you're saving money. I'm sure a lot of you guys, like me, have saved so much money during this time. I've tried to be as frugal as I possibly can during a time like this, but at the same time, by not spending money, I'm reminded that I'm not spending money, which means I'm not doing anything social, which means that I haven't gone out in a really long time, which means I haven't seen my friends in a while, which means I haven't gone to like a bar or a movie theater or a restaurant. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of bums me out. Like, yeah, I'm saving money for when this is all over, but at the same time, I miss grubbing with the homies. Straight up. The second thing that I don't really know how I feel about this whole quarantine is the fact that while I still have a job and I am working from home, it never feels like I'm off the clock. And if my dad were here right now, he'd say, "Oh son, we'll see, if you want to be successful, you gotta get used to never being off the clock." Dad, see, I love you and all that, but I gotta tell you, I'm not really trying to hear that right now. And here's why. Tell me that at the end of the day, when you get in your car to leave the office to go home, there's a very gratifying sensation in that. The work stays at the office and it doesn't follow you home. It's a very good feeling. And as I've worked from home, there's not that gratification of getting in my car and leaving the office for the day. But I can't even eat lunch comfortably without thinking that I'm missing something or I've been away from the emails or whatever phone for way too long. It's very unsettling. It's not the worst thing in the world, but for those of you who are working from home, you probably get what I'm talking about. The third and final category of this Things That video are the things that suck about quarantine. The first thing that royally sucks about this quarantine is the lack of social gatherings. As a very extroverted person, you can imagine this one is not ideal for me. Like I said, I miss getting dinner with the homies at restaurants, and I can't do that because it is actually legitimately dangerous for me to do so. Also, you can imagine Los Angeles loses its luster when you can't do anything. It's 90 degrees outside right now. I can't go to the beach, can't go to any pools, can't go to any outdoor bars. You know why? Because they're all closed. They're literally not allowed to be open, which is very shitty. That sucks, dude. Really no way to kind of circumnavigate the point. It sucks. The second thing that really sucks about this whole quarantine is, in an extension of social gatherings, the line at the grocery store is now like getting into One Oak on Sunset Boulevard. The only club that people are going to is Sam's Club. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Straight off the top, boy! Straight off the top, boy! Honestly, they might as well have a velvet rope and two giant bouncers waiting outside of the grocery store for people to get in. And guess what? If you ain't dressed cool enough, aka you don't have a face mask on, you're not going clubbing. Which leads me to the final piece of that. Wearing a face mask, I'm not really with it, but I'm gonna do it because it's gonna save lives. My only bad experience with the face mask is, at first, they were all sold out everywhere. Walmart, Target, Ralph's, Amazon, you name it, you couldn't get them. So what did I do for the time being? I took a wool scarf and I had to tie it around my face in 90-degree heat and walk into the grocery store wearing that as a mask. And as you can probably imagine, I got a lot of really weird looks. Also, wearing wool in 90-degree heat is really, really uncomfortable. Again, these are minor gripes, but honestly, that's all for today's video. It had been a while since I made a Things That, and I figured now presented a good opportunity to do so. So, everybody stay safe out there. You know, text, call a loved one, tell them that you care about them, and I'll see you in the next video. Rock on.